7:30. You're tuned in to the Morning Cruise Control here on Eagle 810, AFN Tokyo Studio. And right now we're broadcasting live across AFNs all throughout Japan, AFN Misawa, Iwakuni, Okinawa, Sasebo, and of course, Tokyo. And I'm joined in the studio right now by the United States Forces Japan Chief of Staff, Colonel Cory Mendenhall. How are you doing this morning, sir?
Hey, good morning, Airman Carr. How are you?
I'm doing very well, sir. And you're joining us here this morning to talk about the update on the Liberty policy in Japan.
Yeah.
And sir, if you could go ahead and just open up with us.
Hey, thanks for the opportunity to allow us to come out this morning and just kind of talk about this as we go down to the final, pretty much minutes towards the end of the day here. This policy is in effect today, and I know Lieutenant General Angelella, the commander of U.S. Forces Japan, and 5th Air Force, and our command chief, Command Master Sergeant Laurent, are very concerned with the conduct of our soldiers and our airmen and our sailors and Marines when they're out there in the community tonight, just having a good time and relaxing and making sure that they've earned this right. They want to make sure they protect this right for them. It's we don't want anybody to go out there and think this is a good offense, and for all intensive purposes, tie one on and get drunk beyond a reasonable doubt here. What we want them to do is have a good defense. So what we're asking is leader involvement, leader presence through the week, over the weekend, this first weekend, to get us through it, and then also over the holidays is going to be very important. And then also, just as important as leader presence out there in the community is our peer pressure. We need our peers out there making sure that their airmen, their wingmen, their battle buddy, their shipmate is doing the right thing and help protect this adjustment to the Liberty policy.
Definitely, sir. And, talking about being good ambassadors is something that we frequently cover all the time, especially in our commanders' interviews. And what do you think it absolutely means to be a good ambassador?
Well, we talk about good ambassador, and I think sometimes people think, oh, that's a State Department term, and it's really not. It's a ambassador for the United States. We're Americans, and when we're out there, we represent America. And it's beyond that a little bit. It's not only America, it's our units and how we conduct ourselves, and also how we represent our family, most importantly. And I think when we're out there, we have to say, would this be something my mother or my father would condone or not? And this type of behavior, and sometimes that's the one peer pressure that we all can respond to, pretty much, is what our parents and our family would think of what we're doing at that moment.
Definitely. And something to think about, too, while you're out in Japan, this may be the first time a local national has had an interaction with an American, and then you are that representation, that first time they've had any sort of interaction.
Yeah, and we really encourage that. The Japanese people are such a exceptional culture and very hospitable, is what I've found out going around. And a little gesture, just a smile will get a great response from them, and they're nervous like we're nervous when we're out there. It's their country, and sometimes we don't know how to approach people or their customs. But just the same in token that they're the same way with us. They don't know how to approach us. So sometimes a little gesture of a smile and just saying hi. Or Ohio gozaimasu is the icebreaker that you need, and they realize that you're no different than they are.
Absolutely, sir. And for those who, for whatever reason, aren't aware of what the current update is, can you go ahead and inform us?
Yeah, absolutely. For the people on mainland Japan, there's not much difference here, really. We've put a little bit more responsibility at the lower rank for our 04 commanders to approve or adjust as necessary the Liberty policy. We've also adjusted it to where you can stop drinking now at midnight, and then you still have that a golden hour, so to speak, to get back on base or to get in your residence, your hotel that night. So, and that's the soldiers, the airmen, the sailors have asked for that, the Marines, and the command has heard them and said, okay, let's adjust this. But I think the bigger change is down in Okinawa, because this is the first time that for a long time that our Marines and our airmen that are down there and a few sailors and some Army personnel can actually go into the bars. And this will be a big deal to go into the bars. And, the bar owners want them to come down there and be patrons of their establishments, but they also want them to be, good patrons and have a good time, enjoy it. But they also got to remember that, about the curfew time. They need to be back in when they're supposed to.
Absolutely. And this is something that, as we're going through this update, or as we're going through this change, it's something people need to be mindful as well, is just staying focused on the goal and understanding that this is something that can be taken away.
Yeah, exactly. And you talked about goal, and and Airman Carr and I were just talking about football teams just recently. And, of course, I'm a Seattle Seahawks fan, but, this is not this first night is not a good offense. We can't go out there and act like we're trying to score a goal here real quick in these establishments. This is all about defense, and it's protecting our liberty policies, the stuff that we've earned, the right that we've earned to go out there. We just have to prove it that we've earned this, and for rightfully so. And I can tell you there's going to be a lot of eyes on the service members here this week and next weekend and through the holidays, and that's why it's very important that leadership presence and peer pressure is out there to make sure that we're all doing the right thing.
Yes, sir. And, you were saying earlier you've been here about 4 months now.
Yeah.
I got here, almost 3 years in January. So I remember what it was like before there was even a curfew at all.
Yeah.
And it's something to definitely be mindful of. New service members, they that's all they know. But for those of us who have been here for 3 years or more, 2.5 years or more, we remember what it was like before curfew. And, I understand you got to crawl before you can walk. Is there any chance that it could ever go back to that, or is it's one?
Well,
of
I
those
think
things?
this is the first step, and I can be honest. I'm the guy that's behind the scenes. I get all the emails of indiscipline. I get to hear what the commanders, the high level commanders, talk about, and this is the first step to hopefully once again, if we can prove to not only the leadership but also the local communities that we can be entrusted with this kind of responsibility, we can probably see in the future that maybe the restrictions will get loosened up a little bit. I've been to Korea twice, and I've been under this kind of this policy, and I've seen it go from very strict to very loose to where it was almost nothing, and within a short amount of time, we broke that trust with the local people of Seoul and the communities in and around Seoul, and we had to go back to that and to a very strict liberty policy. And I would hope that I don't think anybody wants that here in Japan. We have such great service members out there doing awesome things every day. Some great training they do, great support to our local organizations, orphanages, those kind of things, and it's wonderful to see those kind of things. And I don't want none of us want to see that overshadowed by just a few mistakes that people do out there. But unfortunately, this one mistake is a strategic level mistake. We talk about that a lot. It's because there's so many people looking at it. So it's that one guy. You see that commercial, "Don't be that guy."
Don't be that guy. Yes, sir.
And it's an important commercial that everybody understands. You don't want to be that guy tonight. And you surely don't want to be that guy over the weekend. So that's why we're asking for leaders to get out there and keep an eye on our service members. And also, we're asking for the peers out there, which is really the best gal out there, to point it out and say, "Hey, come on, let me get you back through the gate. You probably had too much to drink," or, "Hey, it's not worth it. Let's go get a bagel or go to get a hamburger down at McDonald's."
Yes, sir. And you make a good point there, because a few can ruin it for all. So, sir, is there anything else that you'd like to go ahead and add at this time?
Well, there's a couple things I wouldn't mind saying. My dad had a saying a long time ago, and all my troopers have heard it before, which is nothing good ever happens past midnight, and nothing good ever happens under the influence of alcohol. So just remember that when you're out there and it's past midnight, the odds are not in your favor. So do your best, think clearly, surround yourself with good people to make sure they're taking care of you, and let's get back in and grab something to eat back in our rooms and relax and maybe watch a show. But The only other final thing I got to say is, and it wouldn't be right if I didn't say this, is go Army, beat Navy, right?
You got to throw that in there.
Yeah, I had to throw it in there. That's to all my Navy friends down there in Yokosuka, but and also in USFJ headquarters. We got a lot of Navy people up there too. But hopefully it's our year.
Yes, sir. United States Forces Japan Chief of Staff Colonel Cory Mendenhall, we do appreciate you joining us this morning. And thanks to our listeners from AFN Misawa, Iwakuni, Okinawa, Sasebo, and, of course, AFN Tokyo. Sir, we appreciate the update on Liberty Policy. And, again, folks, make sure you're being mindful, be good ambassadors, and also, take care of each other. I guess that's the biggest message and biggest thing we can take away from this.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
I'll be out there looking at it. I'll be out there watching everybody.
All right, sir. And I understand you're a pretty big Dave Grohl and Foo Fighters fan. Is that correct?
Absolutely. I'm not like the command chief. I don't listen. I like Kobe Calais, but I'm more about the hard rock kind of.
All right, sir.
You bet. Seattle rock.
All right, here we go. Foo Fighters with My Hero.